I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. A Fulton County Superior Court judge has rejected Donald Trump's lawyers' efforts to file more briefing in their attempt to try to disqualify the Fulton County District Attorney from further engaging in criminal investigations of Donald Trump. Donald Trump's lawyers' efforts to try to block the special purpose grand jury recommendations from being utilized by the future grand jury that will be contemplating indictments to disqualify the judge himself. Judge Robert McBurney just issued this order on additional briefing and not only rejected Donald Trump's lawyers' request for 21 days to file a reply brief, but Judge McBurney just basically smacked down Donald Trump's lawyers' efforts to file any more briefing at all, literally saying in the order, "You've given me plenty of paper. Stop giving me more documents. I have enough to make a decision here." Now, this all stems from a very frivolous motion that Donald Trump had filed to disqualify the Fulton County District Attorney from criminally investigating him, to disqualify the judge, to block the special purpose grand jury report from being released. That motion that was filed by Donald Trump was then joined by one of the fake electors who also was the Republican chair of Coffee County, Georgia, someone by the name of Kathy Latham. Kathy Latham was the individual who let in individuals hired by the Trump campaign to steal election data from the Coffee County election office. She joined the efforts by Donald Trump in filing this motion to disqualify the DA and to try to block the special purpose grand jury report. And you may remember in my reporting on this issue, I said this is just completely frivolous to begin with. I mean, the special purpose grand jury recommendations have not even been made public yet. While many speculate that the recommendations are for Donald Trump to be indicted, it's redacted. Donald Trump doesn't even know what it says. Nobody knows what it says in there. Also, the special purpose grand jury merely makes recommendations. Ultimately, it will be up to a grand jury to make the decision whether or not to indict or not to indict. And that grand jury has not even been impaneled yet and has not made any decisions, therefore, to indict or not indict. And the special purpose grand jury's recommendations can be utilized by the grand jury. They don't have to be utilized. And other information will go before the grand jury as well. And we believe that the grand jury will likely make their decisions regarding indictments in late July, but more likely in August. And Fani Willis, the Fulton County District Attorney, has already told people in her office, as well as judges within Fulton County Superior Court, if they could start setting remote appearances and scheduling working remotely during that period based on potential high-profile indictments when those take place. But the indictments have not happened yet. Let me just read for you Judge Robert McBurney's order on additional briefing, where he basically slaps down Donald Trump's lawyers for asking for additional time and does it in, kind of some brilliant legal, it's a legal smackdown right here. Here's what it says. On March 20th, 2023, former President Trump filed a motion to quash the special purpose grand jury's final report and to recuse the Fulton County District Attorney's Office from further investigation into prosecution of alleged interference with the 2020 general election in Georgia. On April 28, 2023, Kathleen Latham, one of the alternative electors, they put it in quotes, alternate electors advanced by, meaning a fake elector, advanced by Georgia's Republican Party in the aftermath of the 2020 general election, filed a motion joining former President Trump's motion. On May 15, 2023, the district attorney responded to the two motions, and certain media interveners did the same. On May 16, 2023, former President Trump lodged a request to file a reply to the district attorney and the media intervener's response. To date, the court has received well over 500 pages of briefing, argument, and exhibits on the issue raised by former President Trump and Ms. Latham. That is plenty. There will be no more briefing unless it is solicited in writing by the court. So ordered, May 19th, 2023, signed by Fulton County Superior Court Judge Robert McBurney.
And now let's take a quick break to talk about our next partner, Rhone. If you're like me, you understand the pains of finding out what to wear. Let's face it, most clothes are uncomfortable or too tight or never actually the size that you really are, and not to mention the annoyance of trying to put together a good outfit. And when you finally do have a good fit, you can only wear it for a few hours before you have an important meeting or dinner, and then you have to change. Everyone wants to dress their best and look good at all times because, frankly, it's a confidence booster. So here's the deal. Men's closets were due for a radical reinvention, and Rhone stepped up to the challenge. Rhone's commuter collection is the most comfortable, breathable, and flexible set of products known to man. And here's why. Rhone helps you get ready for any occasion with the commuter collection, which offers the world's most comfortable pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, and polos. You never have to worry about what to wear when you have the Rhone commuter collection. Rhone's comfortable 4-way stretch fabric provides breathability and flexibility that leaves you free to enjoy what life throws your way, from your commute to work to your 18 holes of golf. It's time to feel confident without the hassle. With Rhone's wrinkle release technology, wrinkles disappear as you stretch and wear the products. It's that easy. With the Gold Fusion anti-odor technology, you'll be smelling fresh and clean all day long. And on top of that, Rhone is 100% machine washable, so you can ditch the dry cleaner altogether. I absolutely love Rhone. This has truly become my go-to commuter fit. We're on the move a lot, whether it's jumping from meeting to meeting or catching a flight or an important dinner. The Rhone commuter collection has never let me down. The versatility and overall comfort of the collection is undefeated. Even after I wear it all day, I still feel super fresh because of the Gold Fusion anti-odor technology. The commuter collection can get you through any workday and straight into whatever comes next. Head to Rhone.com/Meidas and use promo code Meidas to save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you head to RHONE.com/Meidas and use code Meidas. It's time to find your corner office. And now back to the video.
And so the Fulton County District Attorney argued a number of things about why Donald Trump's motion was frivolous. She argued that he had no standing. There was no injury in fact that took place because, again, the special purpose grand jury is simply making recommendations, and Donald Trump has not been indicted yet. And look, and if he wants to bring claims once he's indicted and assert whatever the defenses he can assert at that time, you assert your defenses then. But what Donald Trump does over and over again is tries to challenge these proceedings before they even take place. And it's not like he's successful. He always loses, but part of his design is delay, delay, delay. The Fulton County District Attorney goes on to say you can't just disqualify Judge Robert McBurney because you don't like the judge's rulings. Because you don't like the judge's rulings is not a basis of disqualification under Georgia law or anywhere in the United States of America. And then you can't disqualify the Fulton County District Attorney because you've shown no evidence of actual bias and an attempt to maliciously prosecute you based on actual bias and spreading of lies about you publicly to try to taint the jury pool. That hasn't happened. There's no evidence to support that. So those are the essential arguments that were made by the Fulton County District Attorney in their opposition to Donald Trump's request to try to, again, block the report and disqualify the DA and to disqualify the judge and other relief. One other thing that I found interesting and significant and why Donald Trump's motion ultimately backfired is the part where Kathleen Latham joined Donald Trump's motion. Because, one of the things that Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis is focused on is the RICO or racketeering laws, where ultimately Donald Trump can be charged for the conduct of the other individuals who were part of the common plan and scheme. So RICO and racketeering statutes historically have been utilized to go and prosecute mafia bosses who often speak in code, and they're not the ones who are actually doing the hits themselves. And they often don't have to say, hey, go after that person and get someone, although sometimes they do that. But it's through the common plan and scheme of the enterprise, if you can show that it was known that that was kind of the common plan and scheme. And so here, the issue with Kathleen Latham ultimately is part of the common plan and scheme of the 2020 election interference. One aspect, one tentacle of what Fani Willis is investigating is Donald Trump, through Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell. They first wanted to seize voting machines after the election because what they wanted to do was tamper with the data to further their phony election fraud claims by manipulating the data, right? Every accusation is a confession when it comes to MAGA. When they couldn't do that by going to the Department of Homeland Security, who said, we can't do this, when the Department of Defense wouldn't do it, they hatched another plan. Look, let's just go into the local election offices in these areas that are run by Republicans who are Trump supporters, and let's just steal the election data, and then we can get the same data that we were trying to get by seizing the voting machines, which we couldn't do. So they did this in a lot of states. As it relates to Georgia, they found an ally, Sidney Powell, Giuliani, in Kathleen Latham, who was the GOP chair in Coffee County, and she let individuals into the election office who took a thumb drive and basically stole the election data, and then the election data was transmitted to the Trump campaign, and it was utilized and manipulated to then provide false information about the voting behavior in Georgia. And so Kathleen Latham would be linked to Powell and Giuliani, which would be linked to Trump, if you're thinking about this as a RICO and racketeering case, so that Trump would then be charged with stealing the election data in Coffee County under that type of RICO claim. So when Kathleen Latham joins Donald Trump's motion and files a joinder, even though it's not like, you can't take judicial notice and say, see, this proves the RICO and racketeering. It isn't like legal proof of racketeering, but what it does indicate is that they're kind of a team. And that's not the look that Donald Trump's lawyers wanted to have happen here. So again, this is another legal strategy that's completely backfired by Donald Trump, because obviously you can tell from the judge's recent order that he's not having any more of these filings. He's not having this circus of Trump lawyer frivolous filings in his court. He's done with it. So Trump's going to ultimately lose this motion. And then you've got this Kathleen Latham who then joins Trump's motion and kind of demonstrates the central thesis, at least optically, behind what Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has always been saying. So another smackdown against Trump and Trump's lawyers here. I'm sure we'll be reporting soon about Trump not prevailing in this motion. And then just buckle up, because we're going to be talking about Fulton County District Attorney indictments soon. Those indictments that are coming from the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, though, those are going to be very, very powerful. I know large media networks are all going to be like, oh my God, it's so surprising. Wow, look at it. I'm telling you, when it comes to Fulton County, these charges that I believe, again, that are going to happen against Trump are going to be very serious felonies. And I think that would ultimately carry with them serious prison sentences. We're talking 20, 30 plus years for the crimes that I think he's going to be charged with in Fulton County. But we will see and we'll keep you posted. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben Meiselas. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers here thanks to your support. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. And wherever you get audio podcasts, subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast as well. Just search MeidasTouch. We've been doing really good numbers on audio podcasts lately, thanks to you. So if you can help out there again, that would be great if you haven't subscribed to the audio. All right, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, and thank you for watching.
Lock him up! Indictment season is upon us. Celebrate with the new Indictment season t-shirt and v-neck exclusively at store.MeidasTouch.com.